Chris, front row.
What was the event for you like this weekend to give back in the way you did and what it means to you?
Yeah, it was awesome to be able to go down there and give back to a place that's done so much for me and my family. It was a really wonderful experience for me.
Ready?
How is the team doing right now? I know this hasn't been the results you guys have wanted. Coach Sertain said he felt like you guys have been sticking close together. Is that kind of what you've seen?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely say guys are sticking close together. I had a really good day out there in the field, and yeah, we just want to keep building on it until this weekend.
Liam?
From the leadership perspective, have you seen guys maybe who weren't as active earlier in the season maybe step up to try and spark something for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of guys have stepped up that weren't maybe as active at the early parts of the season. I think that just comes with, going throughout the season. You might have guys go down, and some guys who maybe weren't in that position might have to step up. You know what I mean? So definitely have seen that from a lot of guys.
What do you think is different about this year's team versus last year that you guys will be able to kind of break through and get back to the winning ways?
Yeah, I think we're really just, like you said earlier, sticking together really well. Even throughout the ups and downs of the season, I don't see any lack of fight anytime we step out on the field together. Any lack of effort, anything of that sort. So I definitely like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Both Coach Norvell, Coach Sertain said, it's just one day at a time. Obviously, when things have gone the way they have the last few weeks, is it harder to keep that mentality, or is it a little bit easier when you guys walk out there to just focus on what's in front of you and kind of leave everything else behind?
I think no matter what situation you're in, whether you're undefeated or completely defeated, I think taking it one day at a time is a challenge every team deals with. Whether you're on one side of it, trying not to look too far ahead for what might come, or on the other side of it, just taking it one day at a time to keep getting better every day. So definitely.
Kind of following up on that, I'm sure there's outside noise, right? Whether it's some people you guys are writing or some fans are saying, family members, like there could be all sorts of distractions that make it difficult. How do you deal with that? And I assume you're a veteran, that you're dealing with it well. I still have a follow-up after that, but how do you deal with that?
Really just focusing on the voices that matter, the voices in the building, the guys you go to work with every day. There's going to be outside noise. That's a distraction for, once again, either way, for a defeated team or undefeated team, outside noise is going to be a distraction. So I think just coming in every day, listening, like I said, to the voices that are important, to the voices that matter, and getting better every day.
Because you are a veteran, you've been around football for a while, and sure, in general, have you dealt with teammates who maybe are struggling with that process more so than yourself, who don't have the context for wins, losses, and how that can stack up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I remember about maybe 2-3 weeks ago having a conversation with Javen Boggs. He's a guy we both came from the same high school, and we kind of had a similar experience in our first year of college. His experience, his first year, was a little bit similar to mine. So having a conversation with younger guys like that is where that veteran type of thing I can step in and do stuff like that because I've been through it. So yeah.
Wake Forest held SMU to whatever it was, 12 points, even though they committed 5 turnovers on offense. What are they doing so well defensively? What makes them hard to move the ball?
Yeah, they're a multiple style team. They're a really good defense. I think they're top 25 right now. So if we do our job and come out and execute at a high level, I don't think there's anybody that can stop our offense if we're hitting on all cylinders. So.
We always talk about the offensive line needing to work as a unit, all 5 together. How tough was it when Pettis goes out to insert someone new and deal with that? Does it just come naturally, or does it still take a few drives to kind of get used to it?
Yeah, I don't think it just comes naturally to every offensive line, but I think luckily we have a good offensive line room to where those guys behind, they've all gotten those reps throughout spring, fall camp. Guys that are coming in, they've gotten reps with that first unit throughout this whole process. So I think for the most part, that transition when someone goes out and someone else comes in has been seamless for us so far.
Do you remember your first impressions walking into the football building? What were they, and then how did it maybe change your day-to-day?
Yeah, my first impressions walking in was just wow. This is a wonderful building. We are extremely lucky to be the group that got to move into that building. I know it's been in the works for a while. I think I remember being in 10th grade coming on a visit here, and they were talking about building it. So it was just awesome. And it makes our day-to-day so much better. It just streamlines everything. Everything that we need, is right over there in that building. Great facilities, and like I said, we're really lucky to be able to be the group that got to move in there. So.
Aslan?
Coach Sertan was saying earlier that when a team loses its team goals, it's important for guys to play out of pride for themselves and for their school. What's motivating you? Are you guys going to be motivated by trying to quiet some of the outside noise about your head coach?
I think at one point or another, every player has to dig deep and find that internal source of motivation, whether that's in the middle of the season or in the off season in tour duty when you're doing the stuff nobody wants to. So I think it's a little bit of both. There's still that team goal dynamic. We still want to go out there and win. That's at the end of the goal. That's the team goal, is to win. But I think you always have to dig deep sometimes in those moments when stuff really gets tough to find that internal motivation, whether that's your family, anything. So yeah.
Anything else for Rich? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
You guys have a good one.
You too.